Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our session today, which is Getting Started WebAssign Integration with Blackboard. My name is Elizabeth Halchak, and I'm a Regional Customer Success Manager. Here is our agenda for today's session. We're going to start with an overview of the benefits of the WebAssign Blackboard integration. We'll review a few of the recent updates, as well as some points to consider as you are integrating your WebAssign course into Blackboard. And then we'll spend some time actually working live and showing the process of integrating WebAssign with Blackboard. We'll also cover all of the resources that are available. That includes where you can access student registration instructions, training resources, syllabus resources, access to our All Access Hub, and we'll also have time for Q&A. So we'll start with some of the benefits of the WebAssign Blackboard integration. With our new integration, this allows for a much easier, more intuitive course setup. If the Cengage Tool is already installed at your institution, there's no more admin involvement needed in order to accomplish the integration, and you're able to set up this integration in a matter of minutes. The integration also allows for saving time with managing your due dates. So if your institution is on the most recent versions of Blackboard, we do have due date synchronization so that your WebAssign due dates will flow back to Blackboard and be updated there as well. With the integration, we also provide the ability for what we call deep linking. This allows you the ability to provide direct access to specific WebAssign assignments directly from your Blackboard course. You also have the flexibility to create assignments, schedule, and update as needed throughout the course. You don't have to have that all done before you complete the integration. There's also the ability to be able to provide direct access to the ebook for your course directly from Blackboard as well. Lastly, a key benefit that the integration provides is the ability to synchronize grades. So you have the option to be able to determine which WebAssign assignments you would like to sync into your Blackboard gradebook. And this eliminates the need for any manual grade sync or manual grade upload of your WebAssign scores into Blackboard. We did want to cover some recent updates that we've made to the integration. Previously, ND and NS scores did not sync back to the Blackboard gradebook, but we have made an update there. So now you no longer need to enter in a 0 for ND and NS after the due date. In our first phase, what you'll be able to do for this is after the due date for an assignment, you can access your score view area and click the Send Scores to LMS button. This will send a 0 to your Blackboard gradebook for any ND and NS scores that are showing in score view for assignments that are past due. We are working on future work to automate this so that you don't need to press the Send Scores to LMS, but this does eliminate the need for you to have to do that manual update of the zeros. As you're getting started with your integration, there are a couple of points to consider. The first is rostering. If you used the one of the previous versions of the Blackboard WebAssign integration, you would click a link to roster the students into the WebAssign course. With this new integration, the students will roster themselves, and they do that by clicking on the link that you add into the Blackboard course. So the student will appear on your WebAssign class roster once they click on that link that you add into Blackboard and complete their registration. If you've already built your WebAssign course into your WebAssign account, you will have the ability, as we go through the integration process, you'll see, to just link to that existing course. You'll also want to use that link to existing course structure if you plan on using WebAssign courses with a parent-child section management. So you'll want to build those out in WebAssign directly and then link them to their respective Blackboard courses. If you're using a text that's actually moving into a new edition and want to make use of the WebAssign Edition Upgrade tool, just like with the other examples, go ahead and build your WebAssign course in WebAssign first. That will make sure that you're prompted to use that Edition Upgrade tool, and that will run your assignments through the tool and make sure that those assignments are updated to the new edition. Once you've done that, you can then use the link to existing course option, which we'll show here in just a few minutes, to be able to link that new course into Blackboard. If you are using another instructor's course, if they've shared a course with you that you're planning to use, but you also need to be able to edit those assignments, make sure that you create the course in WebAssign first. And when you're creating the copy of the course, choose the option to create a copy of each of the assignments. This will make sure that the assignments are yours and that you'll be able to edit those assignments as needed. The last thing to cover before we go ahead and jump in live, you'll see when we jump into Blackboard, you're able to view the license type for the content that you're planning to integrate. If your course is part of an inclusive access or institutional type agreement, make sure that you're choosing the option that says inclusive access when you're building out or completing that integration. If your students purchase access themselves, you'll see a license type of student purchase, and you would want to choose that option. But with that, let's go ahead and jump live into Blackboard. All right. Okay, so I have my Blackboard account up, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into my Blackboard course. I'm showing, to begin with, the Blackboard Learn view, but I will also show what it looks like in Blackboard Ultra course view, if that's what you're using. But we're going to start here in kind of the classic Blackboard Learn view. So you can integrate your WebAssign content into any of the content areas that you have here in Blackboard. If you have an existing area, you'll want to go ahead and just jump into that content area or folder. You can certainly create a new area if you haven't already done that. I'm just going to create a new content area. I'm going to call it WebAssign. But of course, we can fit this into the structure that you already use. Once you're in the content area where you would like to establish that initial integration between WebAssign and Blackboard, you'll want to access the partner content menu that you'll see up here toward the top of the screen and choose the content market. If this is your first time accessing the content market, you will be prompted to sign in to your WebAssign account. So you can go ahead and do that. But once you've completed that step once, you will not be prompted to do it again. Then you'll be taken to a page here, and you're going to go ahead and click on the Cengage Tool. After clicking on the Cengage Tool, you'll be taken to this page. We're going to see a list of 3 options. To integrate WebAssign, you're going to choose Add Homework Platform. And this will take you to a list of all of the content that has been made available at your institution. You can search for your specific title here. You can also use the filter option on the right-hand side if you wanted to filter, for instance, to just WebAssign content. I keep scrolling past it. There it is. But I'm going to go ahead and just search. So I'm going to search for Stuart. And I will find my title here. I'm looking for the 9th edition Calculus Early Transcendentals. But of course, you would choose whatever option is related to the text that you're using. Note that this is where you can see that license type that I mentioned. So be it inclusive access or a license type where the students are purchasing. I'm going to go ahead and click on Link to Course. And 4 options are going to show. The very first option is to create a new WebAssign course. If you choose this option, it's going to create a new kind of empty WebAssign course. And then you can go through and start creating and scheduling your WebAssign assignments. A second option is to copy an existing course. You'd want to consider using this option if you have taught this course before and you just want to copy a course from a previous term. If you click the radio button for copy an existing course, you'll then have the ability to select the WebAssign course in your account that you would like to copy. The third option is to copy from a course key. This is an option you can use if a WebAssign course key has been shared with you. That will create a copy of that course. And then the fourth option is the one that I mentioned when we were going through some of the points to consider, is link to an existing course. This will take a look at any of the courses in your WebAssign account associated with this title that haven't already been linked to a Blackboard course. So what I'm going to do actually, instead of linking to a course, I'm actually going to copy one for this particular example. So I'm going to select the course that I want to copy. And then the title of your Blackboard course is going to auto-populate into the course name, but you can certainly modify this if you would like. Then you're going to want to set your class start date. Make sure that this is set as your actual class start date. This will be the first date on which the students can access the WebAssign content in your course. You can set it in the future, but I'm going to go ahead and just set it for today. And then you'll set your end date. This would be the last date that the students can access the WebAssign content in your course. So just make sure that you have that set appropriately. Your time zone should pre-populate, but you can adjust as needed. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. You'll be redirected back to Blackboard, and you're going to see the link that we're creating, and go ahead and click on submit. Now you'll have the link. What this is a direct link to your WebAssign course. You may want to rename this link just so that it's more clear to students, like what this link is actually taking them to. So I'm going to click on the menu next to the link and click edit, and then I can change the name here. I'm going to say just click here to register and access WebAssign. So now that initial integration between Blackboard and my WebAssign course has been completed, if I click on this link, it's going to go ahead and direct me into my WebAssign account. Because I'm accessing this as an instructor, it's going to take me to the homepage of my WebAssign account. What would happen with your students is they'll be directed into the homepage of that specific WebAssign class. And you can see here's that WebAssign course that we just created. Now that I've completed the initial integration, I could begin adding in some of those deep links. So that would include, for instance, a link to the ebook, as well as links to specific assignments. And the process for doing that is very similar to the process that we just followed, and it's done through the partner content and that content market again. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. And then I'm going to click on my Cengage Tool. And now that we've completed the initial integration, your WebAssign book will show up here at the top, and you can click on Select Content. What you're going to see here in this list is a list of any assignments that exist in that WebAssign course. These will not show until you've created and scheduled those assignments. And then you'll also have some additional links down here at the bottom. So what I'm going to start with is by adding a link to the ebook. So this is a direct link for students as well as you as the instructor to access the e-text. And I'm going to go ahead and add in a link for Cengage Tech Support. So I'll click continue. Again, directed back to Blackboard, and I'll click on submit. And so now I have those direct links. I'll show you as an example. If I click on that ebook link, it's going to go ahead and direct me into the ebook. Students can still access the ebook through WebAssign, but this is just a way to provide easy access from Blackboard. Next, what I'll show is how you can add in links to specific WebAssign assignments and choose whether or not you want that grade synchronization to occur. So you can go into whatever area it is where you want to add in those assignment-specific links. I'm actually going to create a new folder, but you don't have to do this. You can just follow whatever structure you already use. But I'm just going to call it like week 1. And I'll go ahead and jump in there. And again, you still have that partner content folder up here at the top. So from the menu, I'll choose Content Market again. So again, just following the exact same process. click on my Cengage Tool, and select content. And now what we'll do is add in those assignment links. So I have my assignments that I've built. You can click on the icon to the right of the link title if you want to preview what that item is. To create a direct link to a specific item, you're just going to click on the checkbox here on the left-hand side. If you also want to create a corresponding gradebook column in the Blackboard Grade Center, make sure that you have the checkbox on the right selected here as well underneath Add to Gradebook. So in this case, I'm creating that direct link, and I'm also creating a corresponding gradebook column. You can add multiples at one time. If you want to create a direct link to a specific item, let's say this 2.8 homework, but do not want to create a corresponding gradebook column, you can simply deselect that checkbox over here on the right. So if you have practice items or anything that you just don't want to synchronize into the Blackboard Grade Center, you can do that. You can just deselect there. Then I'm going to click on Continue. And just like with all of the previous links that we were adding, I'm directed back to Blackboard. What you're able to see here is a list of the links that you're adding. For any of the items that you selected that you are choosing to synchronize into your Blackboard Grade Center, you're able to see the total points possible. This matches the total points possible that are on the assignment in WebAssign. And you can also see the due date. Again, it's grabbing that due date from WebAssign and pulling it in. We'll go ahead and click on Submit. And now you can see I have direct links to those specific items. If needed, you can move these around once the links are already in. When you click on that specific link, instead of taking the student just to the homepage of their WebAssign course, they'll be directed into that particular item. So this is going to open up that particular assignment. If you change due dates kind of after the fact, after you've created the link, the due dates will update back to Blackboard, so you don't need to manually update those. You'll just adjust the due date in WebAssign, and that update will synchronize back to your Blackboard course. The last thing that I'll show here, I'm just going to jump to the Grade Center. Just to show that after you do that, you're able to see the columns that are created. So I have those 3 gradebook columns for the WebAssign assignments that I selected. And as the students complete those assignments, those scores will synchronize over into the Blackboard Gradebook. Ashley, any questions on the integration process before I toggle over to Blackboard Ultra to show how it looks there?
No, nothing in chat right now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and close out of this Blackboard course. And for those who may be using the Blackboard Ultra course view, I'm going to toggle into a course that is set up with that view. All right, so this is the Ultra course view. And the actual integration process is no different. The real difference is just where you find the tool. So I'm in my course content. And I will go ahead, I'll just create a module here. And I will call it WebAssign. And in order to access the Cengage tool, what you'll do is just click on the plus. And from the menu, you'll choose Content Market. And this is going to open up that content market just like it does, it did in the Blackboard Learn view that we were just looking at. So I'll go ahead and click on my Cengage tool. And from here, the steps are identical to what we went through previously. So you'll be taken to the screen. I can click on Add Homework Platform. I'll go ahead and search for Stuart. We'll find my text. I'm just going to choose this one here. And then I'll run through that exact same process. So for this example, I'll go ahead and create a new course. But you can see the steps are exactly the same. All right, there it goes. So I'm taken back to Blackboard. I'll click on submit. And now I have my link here as well. And of course, I just want to make that visible to students. Then to add in those direct links, either to assignments or to, for instance, the ebook, again, process is the same. You just need to locate the Cengage Tool through the content market. Your WebAssign course is going to show here at the top. Click on Select Content. And then this WebAssign course I created new, so I don't have any assignments yet. They will show as I create and schedule, but I could go through for now and I'll just grab in my ebook link and I'll do the tech support link as well. So I can see my links that I'm adding, and those are now added in as well. Any questions on how the integration works with Blackboard Ultra Course View?
Elizabeth, we had some questions around like the due dates and categories in the gradebook. I did answer them, but I figured they may be good questions to also discuss live. The first one was, can due dates be adjusted in the Blackboard course and automatically transferred to WebAssign?
Yeah, so it's no. The way that it works is actually the opposite. So you'll want to adjust your due dates in WebAssign, and then we'll synchronize those due dates back to Blackboard. If you just adjust them in Blackboard, those do not push back to WebAssign.
Another one was about the categories. So when you assign homework, what category does it flow into in Blackboard?
Yeah, so let me get back into my course here. So I think by default, it puts it into, I'll just look here. Actually, I'm going to go into column organization. Looks like it's putting them into assignments here for me by default. However, you can change the category as needed in the Blackboard Learn view. So I could come through here and just select my assignments and change the category to whatever they should be in. So if you don't want to do that, if you've created your own categories and just need to move the assignments, you can do that. I also believe, and I'm just going to run through it quickly, is you can also adjust the category setting when you're bringing the link in. So we'll grab this one here. I don't think I've done that one yet. So when you're pulling the link in, and if you have several links, you can choose the category at the time that you bring the link in as well. So if I didn't want it to go into assignments and wanted, to save myself a step and have it go into another category, I can do that here. Does that answer the question?
Yes, I believe that does. I just got one more in while we're in the gradebook. If I do not want to synchronize grades in Blackboard Gradebook, how do I turn it off?
Yeah, so actually when you're doing the integration, you're really turning it on as you want the grades to sync. So if you don't want any scores to sync, you have two options just depending on how you plan to integrate. So one is you could just complete the integration up here by linking the course and choose not to add any of those direct links to assignments. We added those direct links in, but if you don't have any of those in, there will be no grade synchronization. But your other option, if you did want to give the students those direct links, when you're adding them into your course, when you're selecting the links from this content selector, just deselect the checkboxes here on the far right. And what will happen in this case is it'll create those direct links so that my students have them to be able to easily navigate, but you're not adding anything to the gradebook. So the WebAssign scores and your Blackboard gradebook will stay separate.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Sure. The last thing that I will point out, I've got my WebAssign account up here. At the beginning of the session, I mentioned the update that we made to be able to push zeros to your Blackboard gradebook for past due assignments where students still have ND or NS, just meaning that they haven't attempted the assignment. Just to show you where that is, I'm going to jump into my score view for my course. And that button is right here. So send scores to LMS. All right, so I am going to jump back, excuse me, to my slides. So if you do have any questions, if you're unsure if the Cengage tool is available at your institution, if you're looking at that list of content that's been made available, if you don't see your textbook there, or if you're not sure if the Blackboard integration makes sense for you, please reach out to your local rep. If you're not sure who your Cengage rep is, you can use our rep finder, which is just at cengage.com/rep finder to look for your institution. And then you'll find your rep's contact information there. And we're happy to help to make sure that you have everything that you need. We also have some additional training and support resources. At webassign.com/LMS, we have all of our integration training videos, support links, and admin support. So this will cover what we've gone through during our session today. We also have our training site at cengage.com/training. This is where we have all of our WebAssign training videos, user guides, and links to recorded webinars. Support.cengage.com is where you can go to access tech support and different contact options. And our cengage.com/startstrong. This is where all of our student registration materials can be found. So we have videos and step-by-step guides that will show the student the process that they'll need to follow. So they're able to see the exact instructions for Blackboard and so that they're able to access their WebAssign course. We also have our syllabus resource page. So you can access our syllabus kit to be able to copy and paste the specific information that you'll need for your syllabus, just to make sure that the students are purchasing the correct course materials. We do also have a variety of different purchasing options. We know no two institutions, students, or instructors are alike. So please do encourage you to reach out to your Cengage representative to discuss the best purchase options for your students. Start Strong, as I mentioned, this is the site that we have that has all of our student registration materials. We definitely encourage you to access this site. You can grab the link that you could post into Blackboard. That again, for those students who need some help and guidance as they're getting up and running, they'll have everything that they need so that they know how to get started with their WebAssign course. Lastly, before we jump into open Q&A, we definitely encourage you to keep the conversation going in our all access community. This is our private community for educators where you can find additional content. as well as connect with your peers. And with that, we'll go ahead and open it up if there are any additional questions.
I believe we are all answered in chat, or I'm sorry, Q&A right now. So if anybody else has any other questions, let's see. We have anything else in chat? Okay. Looks like we're all caught up right now. Oh, two more. Let's see. Is there a specific video for answering math problems or graphs? Raymond, are you referring to, oh, okay, like specialized symbols for statistics? Do we have something that maybe walks the students through?
We do have, I'm going to go into just create an assignment. We do have getting started assignments that we recommend making available to your students. Those are helpful because they will walk the students through some of like the most common things that they would need to know for getting started in WebAssign. I'm just trying to see if I have it loaded in my account. I don't think I have it loaded here right now, but it's an assignment. You can make it optional, or you can obviously make it required for your students, but it will walk the student through kind of what they need to know to get started. So it covers navigation, how to format specific answers and things like that.
Their next question, is there a website that shows how to upload your own videos into WebAssign assignments?
I don't know that we have a specific video, but I would encourage you to take a look at our training site, that's cengage.com/training. We also have our help menu that's included right in your WebAssign account. So in the top right corner, you have the help menu. And this is very comprehensive step-by-step documentation. So, you have kind of all of the things that you may need related to creating assignments. And you can search through here as well.
Next question, if a gradebook item is deleted in the gradebook, is the setting in the WebAssign course adjusted to reflect to not synchronize the assignment with the gradebook? Does that make sense, Elizabeth?
I think, but stop me if I'm misinterpreting. So if you delete the column from your Blackboard gradebook, then there's nowhere for that score to synchronize to. So nothing will sync back for that assignment to your Blackboard gradebook. Is that answering the question?
I believe so. If not, let me see if the next question came up. Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. And I saw Shauna put in chat where to find that getting started assignment that I mentioned. We definitely encourage you. It's a great one to have for students so that they are confident in using the platform.
And if you do have any additional questions, like Elizabeth said, feel free to reach out to your local team and they'll be able to give you additional details about your specific questions. We are all caught up.
All right. I can see something is going on with my camera, but thank you all so much for joining our session today. We very much appreciate it, and we hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.